My paper topic is Mahābodhi Temple of Gayā, a history of shared sacredness of the world. Do you know the word Gayā, which is associated with Bodh Gaya? Now the word changed to Gayā. Why? Gayā is one of the sacred place way before Buddha. Not during Buddha, but way before Buddha. The suffix Gayā, ji, it means that as a respect to that place, we used add suffix in names, in place names, in other names also. Just like as a Kasi, you know Varanasi. Varanasi is, ancient name is Kasi ji. Ayodhya is Ayodhya ji, and Mathura ji. My grandmother and I also used to call Ayodhya ji a living place, not as a city, as a living place. That's why Gayā ji is also a living place for us. That's why in this year, April, Government of Bihar changed Gayā district name to Gayā ji. Officially now the district name of Gayā is Gayā ji. Gayā has a unique history. This is not about Mahābodhi temple or Vishnupad temple. It's about Dharma Kshetra. Dharma Kshetra means the territory which defined by the law of God. Means this is also a place where Hindu do their last right to take away from the circle of life and death. In mythology, Gayā Mahatma is one of the important texts that mention about the Gayā, importance of Gayā. In Vayu Puran, mention that 3 to 4 sacred place in that Dharma Kshetra. I show you the, this is the Gayā Dharma Kshetra, which means where Vishnupad temple and Bodh Gayā, Mahābodhi temple is located. This is about 2.5 kosa. Kosa between 8 to 10 kilometers. This is where the 3 to 4 sacred place is situated. Brief history of Gayā is Gayā ji known as many other names also, just as Gayā Puri, Gayā, Brahma Gayā. Pre-Buddhist significance, it's also already a major pilgrim center way before Buddha for Sanatan tradition, Hindus, especially for Pindadana. Pindadana is a very important ritual. Every Hindu had to do a Pindadana in Vishnupad temple in Gayā if they want to eliminate from circle of life and birth. It's called Pitra Tirth. This place is also called Pitra Tirth. In Yaksha, Nirukta also mentioned about Gayā ji, a sacred place. Dharmapala account also mentioned one of the Gayā Nandi river and Gayā Pokharni is pond name. Together they called is Gayā Tirth. Tirth means pilgrimage, center of pilgrimage. Mainly religion practice here the sacrifices, holy bath and Gayā Falgu river nowadays called as Falgu river. Buddhist texts reference Majjhim Nikaya, which states that 7 sacred rivers of sin cleansing. The river Gayā, also known as Niranjana, Veranjana, Falgu, Niranjana or Lanjana, is the foremost. Geographical notes here is most important. The Gayā river is a tributary of Ganges. Ganga is one of the famous rivers in India that purify our sin. One of the important questions, why Buddha, why Siddhartha went to Gayā ji? He met many teachers. He experienced many teachers' lecture, but he do not satisfy. And ultimately, he went to Gayā ji because he know about the Tirtha Kshetra of Gayā ji, where Hindus eliminated their circle of life and birth. Gayā at Dhamchar, along with Kashi, Banaras and Prayagraj, you know about Mahakumbh. This is Prayagraj is a place where Mahakumbh is happen every after 12 years. Gayā has become a major tirth way before Buddha. It attracts a spiritual seeker looking for liberation primarily through ritual of ancestor. AABS suggests that the Buddha may have chosen Gayā because it was a place where pilgrims sought freedom from death through, though for their ancestor, not for themselves. The Buddha and enlightenment. Way before the 12th century, Mahābodhi complex is one of the major pilgrim place, not only for Buddhists, but Hindus, for Jain also. After Buddha enlightenment, that place is built by King Ashoka the first. First, we have the King Ashoka, and then other kings also renovated that place. This is the Vajrasana diamond throne which contributed by King Ashoka. And you know, after enlightenment, Buddha went to different places, but he went only 2 times to Bodh Gaya. After enlightenment, in 40 years. Only 2 times. He spent in Sravasti 8 times, Vaisali 7 times, but in Bodh Gaya he spent only 2 times. Because Buddha shifted his focus to teaching the masses, teaching other places. According to Pali tradition, the Buddha visited Gaya only twice after setting wheels of dharma in motion at Sarnath in Kashi. This indicates Gaya's importance was primarily as a site of enlightenment rather than as regular teaching center. Shared symbol is, this is, I call Sanatan tradition. The shared symbol is considered to me as a tradition for Hindus, Buddhists and Jain tradition. In Vayu Puran, record the story of Lord Vishnu subdued the demon of Gayasur by passing his foot against his chest. A footprint on the Balsat block in the Vishnupad temple. The Vishnupad temple, this is important for Hindu, is the footprint of Lord Vishnu. And this footprint also in Hindi, in Sanskrit known as Pada, used for object of worship in Indian tradition. Nowadays also when at the front of our gate, we used to mark the footprint of God. And peepal tree. Buddha achieved enlightenment under the Bodhi tree, which is called after Bodhi tree. But before Buddha is called as peepal tree. When Sakyamuni halted at Gayashila hill on the way to Uruvela, the Buddha paused at Gayashila hill, identified by Songshan as Mount Mahābodhi. He meditated there for some time before moving on. Songshan note that the god of Mount Mahābodhi and the beings of the heaven of pure abode, he instructed Buddha to go on that specific tree, not some other peepal tree, that specific tree and meditate. This is accounted by Songshan also suggested that peepal tree already had a sacred identity way before Buddha enlightenment. In Hindu tradition, peepal tree is, that's a Bodhi tree, is very important. It also scientifically oxygen in night, this also gives oxygen day and night. It exactly functions as Vana Chaitya, forest siren for Hindu tradition. This implies that Brahminical Hindus were already worshipping and making offering at this tree due to the distinct location from the spiritual aurora. This is the 6th generation Bodhi tree that nowadays in Bodh Gaya. This is not 1st generation, this is 6th generation. This narrative highlights how pre-Buddhist sacred tradition at Gaya directly shaped the Buddhist sacred geography. The Buddha enlightenment site thus reflects a continuity and transformation of older Indic religious practices. And after Bhagwan Buddha, many kings developed that site. And this is a brief history of temple evolution. Both Bodhgara, where Mahābodhi tree was located, constructed by the Asoka, expanded by other king, later Kusana, and epigraphy Indo-Scythian Gupta's inscription also demarcate the real inscription about the Vikram Sambat 64. A gold coin of King Hubisca was found among the relic near the throne along with punch mark coin. This is finding of Kuningam. So after Buddha enlightenment and Mahaparinirvana, till 12th century, many kings devoted their life to that sacred place. During Gupta period in 4th to 5th century, Mahābodhi temple, historically main temple which present today is built during this 4th, 7th century. Mahābodhi temple was built at a large tower-like brick structure. A life-size image of the Buddha was enshrined on a newly built throne inside the centrum. This construction either encarves or replaces most of the Asoka earlier Bodhi Grama. This is some different from the Asoka construction. Chamkama and Vajrasana is intact, but other place is also built later on. In 1972, when West Bengal examines were not different from the original temple, the present structure is the outcome of century of repair and restoration, transforming the earlier Bodhi Graha into rectangular temple with a tall tower crowned by an anamlika. Different pilgrimage which visited Mahābodhi temple. In 404 CE, Phra, he did not mention about a temple structure in Bodh Gaya. But in other accounts, they were mentioned about the structure. So there is a difference gap of 200 years that suggests that during 4th century there was no any temple, but a shrine was situated at that place. But Xuanzang in 7th century, he records the small shrine built by Asoka enlarged into a temple by Brahmana, which his younger brother digging a pond nearby. Note the role of Shiva is also situated inside the campus. Mentioned that the image of Buddha in Bhumya Spars Mudra inside this emperor was crafted by a Brahman scripture, indicating a strong Brahmical Hindu contribution in the construction. Dharma Vasim, a Tibetan monk, confirmed that the Buddha image in the centrum was made by the Brahmana's son. Sri Lankan monk also contributed building a shrine in the complex and repaired the temple in 7th century. In medieval period, there was very much not constructed, but that is a period when Buddhists came across all over the Asian countries, but in 10th century the whole temple was destroyed by the Turkish invader. In 12th, 13th century, Burmese ruler carried out major restoration, signifying alter the original design. In the 12th century, impact of Turkish invasion is very much destroyed the main structure and the complex structure of the Mahābodhi temple. In 1286, 4 person, this is Tibetan monk account that came to that place. He mentioned about no any monk in that area. In 1294, repair work mentioned in Burmese inscription 1833. After these, the temple became derelict until partial revival in the 18th-19th century. So there was a gap of 400 years. In when Turkish invasion in Bihar area and Alexander Kuningam excavation, the 400 years, a big gap during this temple. Then what happened during these 400 years? After the 400 years, a Savaith Mahan, worshipper of Shiva, is called as Savaith, and the Mahant is priest. He, in 1590, he started taking care of this temple. He was one of the follower of Shankaracharya tradition. Struck by he built an ashram in that complex. Opposite the temple, began maintaining it. His successor, other Mahant, and continuously till now his successor is taking care of that temple. The Mahant cleaned the rebuilt part of the site, re-established religious tradition. This was the consistent till today. During Mughal time, in 18th century, that Savaith Mahant was he was given by the Mughal king a few village nearby the Mahābodhi temple. In that village, he collected tax to repair and renovate that temple, and also that part of the function of the temple. These are the quoted in official Mughal emperor documents. Now you think about the Mahābodhi temple is restored by a Hindu Brahmin Savaith, and today is also he was taking care of. So for us, there is no difference between Hindus and Buddhists and Jain and Sikh. We are all the part of that Sanatan Dhamma tradition. When Anand asked the Lord Bhagavan Buddha, Bhagavan, you are teaching your teaching, giving to the people. What is this? These are teaching. He, in one sentence, he said that Eso Sanantano Dhammo. This Dhamma is Sanatan. This Dhamma is internal. That's continue during my time, and this continue after my Mahaparinirvana. This is when Prince of Thailand, he went to Bodh Gaya in 1893. He wrote his note in that temple. I desire to put on record my warm appreciation of the courtesy and the hospitality receipts given to me by Mahant Krishna Dayal Giri on the occasion of my visit to Bodh Gaya. This is recorded. And this evidence which I have been seen on all sides that in the hand of their present guardian, all is being done that care and devotion can do to preserve and hand down to future generation. This priceless monument of the history and of the region of so many millions of the human race. In modern period, when British came to India, they started excavating the different sites. After reading the travel account of Chinese traveler, in 1880, the first time the excavation done under the Alexandrian Kingdom. In 2002, the UNESCO granted heritage status of Bodh Gaya. And in this year, our government started Mahābodhi corridor project. If you visited Kashi, you see the difference between earlier and today time. Just like Kashi project, this Mahābodhi temple project is going to be happen, and this is one of the biggest project of Buddhist circuit pilgrimage. This is the project design of the Mahābodhi corridor project. All the area you see the temple and other vicinity, this all going to be developed. This is all look like very soon. And why Mahābodhi temple is sacred place, not only for Hindus, Buddhists, Jain, Sikh. This is the place where we get happiness. For me, Buddha message is one word, happiness. And happiness is very important in this materialistic world. Thank you.